This is the last one, bro.
The last one.
It's the last
one. Usaki.
All right, you ready?
Do it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to my very first episode of my podcast, where we'll be talking about what it's like being an actor in New York City. My name is Emily Eckert, and this is my friend.
Yasin Ibrahim.
We both graduated from the American Academy of Dramatic Arts class of 2023. So we have been out in the wild for about a year and a half now. So, that being said, in the academy, I feel like, we had a packed schedule. We had classes, we had seminars, we had guest speakers, we had rehearsals.
Yeah.
Everything was very planned out.
It was nonstop.
And it was kind of planned out for us by administration.
Yeah. And we were winter students, so we were behind. So we had to...
Everything was just more crunched. More crunched together. So after being in the wild, how would you say that kind of schedule and that kind of intensity of like classes, rehearsal, and this and that changed?
Definitely, like after we graduated, things started to relax a little bit more. Like I love the regimen and the schedule and the discipline, but we got a chance to really take a breather and chill for a second, and now that we're out, we have to actually work, to make sure that, we can survive.
Mm-hmm.
The whole starving
artist?
The whole starving artist thing. It's played out. We don't do that anymore. We want to make sure that we're able to actually live a quality life.
Exactly. So would you say that being an actor in New York, like at the moment, as you kind of start out, you cannot financially support yourself just from acting gigs?
I personally can't. No, I personally have to work a job to do that, which is really great because you're learning life skills depending on the job that you have, and from there you're auditioning, meeting new people, making connections in the industry, without the industry, and it's been really, really cool.
So has it happened to you already that, because you had another job that you need to support yourself financially, did you ever kind of forget about acting, or you just pushed it to the side because you're like, I gotta focus on this right now?
Not
and
really.
Then got back?
Yeah, luckily, not really. It's always been there. The auditions always come in through Actors Access and backstage, and even then you can read plays with your friends, and I'm saying all the stuff my teachers or our teachers have said to like stay sharp and work on the body and the craft to
work
stay
on your
open.
Craft.
Yeah.
Every day.
So it's not something that I feel like for me I just need to focus on just work specifically,
What about creating your own work?
Oh yeah.
So a lot of people say like, oh, you just have to keep auditioning for roles through either Actors Access or backstage. But then a lot of people also say like, don't wait for other people to give you a role. Start making your own stuff.
That's huge. Well, before I say anything about that, I want you to actually talk about your work on that, because that's huge.
So I have been doing a lot of my own stuff. I recently just I wrote and directed my own short film, which was produced by Brownstone Films. It was
come on.
It was a great experience because, first of all, I think it's very important to kind of learn. If you want to be an actor, you have to kind of learn all aspects of acting, and that includes, production, directing, the funding, the filmmaking, being behind the camera as much as in front of the camera. Because I personally learned so much being behind the camera.
Yeah.
In terms of angles and the 180-degree rule.
Yeah.
Do you know about that?
Huge. Yeah.
I didn't know about that, but now I do. And also then in post-production, because I also edited the short film. So then in post-production, I saw the amount of mistakes that I made in terms of lighting and sound, but which is good because it was my very first project. So it was a good learning experience. So now I know for next time, okay, if the sun or if there's a really strong light, that means that the shot is going to be most probably burnt out.
Yeah.
And then editing and in post-production, you can't really fix that. So I think it's really important to know that, because then when I go on set or other things, I kind of have that in mind. I'm like, oh yeah, they have to do this and they have to do that.
Yeah, just walking on with like an actor's mindset. You're like a filmmaker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
you have kind of like an idea about the production, how it works, and then it also helps with being patient, because as an actor, between takes, there's a lot of waiting.
You get to act for such a small amount of the entire time you're on the set.
Yeah, because it's like changing the camera lens and then changing the reflectors and the lighting and the camera and fixing your makeup. So there is a lot of patience
to
it. But knowing, so when I was behind the camera and actually directing everything, it's important to do it right. You know, and that just, it takes time, and it takes, you have to be specific about it.
She knows what she's talking about. Invest now.
I'm learning. So in terms of auditioning, have you been auditioning more for theater or like TV and film roles?
It's been mainly TV and film for the most part. I'm starting to look into theater just a little bit, but that's where the route that I want to take is definitely TV and film. Yeah, long term.
Okay.
How about you?
Okay. Honestly, me too. I've mainly been auditioning for TV and film, but now recently I started singing again, taking singing classes.
She can sing, by the way.
Thank you. So I will start auditioning for also theater and musicals now.
Okay.
I do like theater.
Yeah.
A lot. It's fun. I think like the biggest thing with like theater and like TV and film is with theater, it's just you have one shot. You know, during the show, if you mess up, improvise.
The show goes on.
Or just exactly, the show must go on. Whereas with TV and film, it's, you know, you can retake it, you can
there's
cheat it.
Yeah, there's things that you can do. Like if you can't cry in the moment, you can like add Bengay or hot sauce. Don't do that, but
it works.
There's ways around.
Exactly.
On film.
Yeah. Exactly. So, what was one of the craziest, if you've had one of the craziest kind of audition experiences that you've had? If you have one.
There was one where they wanted me to play Shaggy.
Shaggy?
Yeah, like I was supposed to fly to Dubai. Yeah.
Are you serious?
I'm not even kidding. Yeah, they auditioned and it was I sang and then like acted. I'm like, zoinks! Like you're very animated and everything, and like I got the part, but then I don't have the passport yet. So I'm like, it's fine. But they would have Shaggy.
Dubai. And this was for a theater?
This was theater, yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, that's the thing. You get a lot of weird stuff when it comes to theater.
Yeah, that's true. But also TV and film.
That's true.
Sometimes I read a script and I'm like, okay.
I can't even knock it. That's so true.
I'm trying to visualize it. I'm trying to give them a shot, but this is weird.
But it's definitely you just give your best and you just throw it away because you can't overthink it, you know?
That's true. That's true. You can't, like, overthinking an audition isn't going to take you anywhere.
I'm not going to, don't underthink it, but definitely.
Be prepared.
Be prepared.
Be prepared. And then once you're in the audition room, don't overthink it and just do what you feel is right.
And if it's a self-tape, make sure you have fun. And don't spend like 8 hours on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Been there.
True.
2 a.m.
Yeah.
It's wrong. We started at 8 o'clock. 8 p.m.
8 p.m.?
You start at 8 p.m. and you're done at 2 p.m. and you're not satisfied with any of it. You just send one in just because.
That's wild.
And some of them be like 8 pages now. Some of the
honestly, yeah. Can we talk about that for a second? Usually auditions, majority of them should be like a page or 2 page if they're like self-tapes for like TV and film or something. But now I've seen like, I once had an audition where it was 11 pages.
11 pages, yeah.
And I'm like, what are you gonna get from an 8-minute audition?
You gotta memorize
video.
All of it.
I don't memorize it anymore.
No?
I just put my laptop right there with the script.
Hey, don't tell them now. No.
Because I'm...
Oh. No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm not gonna... Like, the amount of auditions I have to do and then the amount of yeses I get, I'm not gonna put myself through that. You know, learning all the lines and all... Oh, no, it's too much. Talking about auditions, personally, I thought it was crazy audition experience. It wasn't necessarily for like theater or like a movie or like a story, anything like that. It was more of one of those campaigns, and it was for like mental health awareness, right? And I got a message on Actors Access, and they were like, "Hey, we'd love for you to come in and do an in-person audition. We think you matched kind of what we're looking for." And I was like, "Okay, great." Yeah. So I came to the in-person audition, and I was like, "Okay, this is nice." You know, there was a couple people in the waiting room, and I got called up. And you know, I was feeling myself. I was having a good day, and I was like, "I'm gonna do great, whatever." And I get into the audition room, and the person's asking me all these questions like, "So, how has your mental health recently been?" And they told me answer as honestly as you can. And I answered, and I was like, honestly, pretty good. You know, I've been in a really good place recently, you know, just really working on myself and like going to the gym and like being amazing. And they're like, okay, so what are some struggles that you've been having? Some
character action.
And I'm like, honestly, no struggles at the moment. I mean,
life's been treating me right.
Right, life's been treating me right. You know, I've been doing this and that. And I told them, I was like, you know, obviously, like, you know, it takes a lot of hard work, you know, to work on like yourself and your mental health. You know, you got to be doing the right stuff, you know, have the right routine, be with the right people.
Yeah.
And they just kind of literally, they like stopped recording the camera, and they were like, so you seem pretty fine. And I was like, yeah. They're like, all right, thanks.
Have a good one.
And I walked out of the audition room.
Yeah.
I was like,
you're like, what?
Wait a minute. They wanted me to be broken. And I wasn't.
They said, you're too happy.
Have you been working on anything yourself recently?
Yeah, lots of writing, learning how to produce.
All right.
That's been the thing. Like, I do want to move into production as well. Long term, I feel like that's what I want to do, you know?
Long term, you want to be in production?
I want to be a producer, yeah. Production,
what
all of that.
What made you have that?
Being on sets and then just seeing how everything works. It's like, oh shit, I really do like this. And then just knowing that I've met a few different producers, and they always just have something to say, some knowledge to drop about things. I'm like, oh, I don't have enough knowledge to give you guys about it yet, but stay tuned. Soon.
Maybe in the next episode. I don't know.
But definitely a lot of writing. You know, just having a friend come over and just reading the stuff that I've written. They're like, oh, this is good. Oh, this is not so good. Let's fix this.
Getting a second opinion.
Mm-hmm. Meeting other writers and seeing how they think and whatnot.
Right. Speaking about that, how important is it to you to have friends in like completely opposite careers?
It's very important.
Like people in finance, people that are, I don't know, just doing completely different stuff.
I mean, it's very important to have a well-rounded group of people around you. Like, if it's all actors, it might be fun and very dramatic, you know, from time to time. But you definitely want other people, because the world is not just full of actors. And I think as actors, we sometimes tend to think everyone is an actor, because it is a field where an actor can be 3 years old and then they can be 60. Like, the range 90. Is so wide. Like, even on our way here, we saw a 60-year-old, you know, just
sitting on the bench reading a script. Yeah, they're everywhere.
I feel like
they really are.
It's important to have friends outside of the field that you are in. I summarize.
I agree. Also, just to kind of like have different perspectives on other things.
Get you some finance friends. They'll teach you how to.
Finance friends, yeah. They can teach you about production and budgeting. Budgeting a film and all that. That's important.
It's huge.
It's important if you want to start doing your own stuff. What for you is one of the scariest things about being an actor?
Being bad, and like you think you're really giving it. You think you're like really giving it, and everyone's just like, "Damn, get off the stage."
So you're scared of failure, or just?
Yeah, but then again, it's like this whole thing is about failure, you know. Mm-hmm. So, matter of fact.
Wait.
Want to ask the question again?
What's one of your favorite things about being an actor?
The failure. The fact that you can go all out and be absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it'll maybe resonate with somebody and maybe it won't. but you gave your take on it, and that's all you can do. I think one thing that they really taught us in school is that you are enough. You don't have to change anything about you, even though it's good to grow and change. Just know that you're enough.
You are enough.
And I think that's one thing that all actors need to kind of like hold on to and latch on to. Like the biggest actors kind of do, you know?
I agree.
I forgot who said this. It said nobody can fill your cup or drain your cup but you. And that's it's kind of like
deep.
If
Wise
you want
words.
it to be deep, it is. If not,
super wise words.
It's fine if it goes over your head too. Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah. Honestly, for me, I'd say my biggest, like my fear of acting and also the thing that I love most about acting are the same, and that's vulnerability.
Oh my
because
gosh. Yeah.
It's very scary to be vulnerable, you know, because you're opening up and you're showing a part of yourself to sometimes people that you don't even know
or don't
like, you know, and you just have to kind of be honest and true, and it's just that fear of like, ugh, I'm showing this person such a raw kind of version of myself. Do they deserve it, or am I doing it right? You know, but then also the beautiful thing about that is also being vulnerable is really cool, and it's really awesome because again, you kind of you have these like new emotions and feelings and perspectives, and it's just like you're just really opening up, kind of being open-minded, allowing things to affect you
normally wouldn't let it affect you.
Exactly.
You're like, fuck it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to curse on this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Fuck it. Okay. Fuck it.
So yeah, I'd say my favorite and the scariest part is vulnerability. It's the same thing.
I'm gonna steal her answer and say vulnerability as well, because we're probably both taught, or everybody watching this, to not be vulnerable in this world. And in school, in our 3 years of training, that's like the biggest thing. They're like, we have to unlearn just to be vulnerable and to trust your partner in the scene and not worry about what other people think and all of that stuff, all that good stuff. Her. If you weren't an actor, what would you be doing?
Oh. Oh.
Spicy.
Honestly, trying to be an actor? No, I don't know. Before becoming an actor, I actually wanted to go into hotel management and hospitality. Yeah, I did a bunch of like internships. I did one at the Ritz-Carlton. I did a couple in hotels in Zanzibar.
You have to search that one up.
That was crazy, actually. I can't believe I was gonna go into hotel management. What about you? What would you be doing?
Probably be a politician.
All right.
I'm kidding.
Oh, good for you.
Honestly, I'd probably be like a. I don't even know. There's really nothing else I really wanted to do.
Didn't you say you wanted to be like doing production? So do you ever?
I mean, I feel like that kind of. It's still like in the world of.
It's still in the world of acting.
Yeah.
True.
Okay, so if it's in the, probably be like a producer.
Producer, director, or just producer.
Producer, maybe writer.
Okay.
You know, I'll leave the directing to other people. It's not something that like I've ever really wanted to do. Like I've thought about doing it for sure, but like it's never been like a focal point, you know. But acting and producing. So if acting doesn't work out, produced by PGA, it'll, you know.
Okay. Any wise words for maybe any young people watching?
If you want to be an actor, do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just fucking do it.
Just do it.
Anyways.
And find a mentor. I think that's also very important.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's always good to have someone to talk to.
Always.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Always. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much for my guest, Yasin Ibrahim, for joining me today. And you will be seeing from us soon. Have a great day. Bye.